What is it important for today? Are we live? All right, Rabbi Sai. We have an amazing daf. I just want to say, been meaning to say this. The first day of brachas, when I spoke about the importance of Daf Yomi, one of the most important thing about Daf Yomi is the kviyos, is the fact that we learn every single day. And back then, we were talking about Yom Kippur, Tisha B'Av, Motzei Tisha B'Av, Chol Hamoed trips, Pesach, Erev Pesach. But we see it more than ever when we're stuck at home in quarantine and we have every single excuse. And imagine if you had a chavrusa now for Lumdis, or you had some sort of, most of the shiurim, most of the chavrusas fall by the wayside now. And this is the one kviyos, and it's so important to have this kviyos, this one Torah that we have during the day, at least one, in this unbelievable time that we're going through. Today's shir is being sponsored Lilu Nishmas Nochum ben David Shapsai Lengsner, who I was up until 2 o'clock in the morning following the funeral from Chicago. He's a friend of mine. He's a friend of everybody in Chicago. A very, very special person who you always saw him smiling, a big Baal Chesed, 54 years old. His son went to school with my son, so I knew him for years. It's a big loss, big tragedy. Le'ilu Nishmas, Daniel Ruvain ben Leib, Nitra Ma'idei B'noi Israel Davis. Israel is a big part of our shir. He started with us in brachas, never missed a day. And his father's neshama should have an aliyah. Today is the yahrzeit. And Le'ilu Nishmas Menachem Mendel ben Simcha. Menachem Mendel ben Simcha grew up in Varsha, went through the war, and I have this whole letter here that his son wrote to me from Hewlett, Kalman. Basically, his father was a ger chassid, and crazy story says here. One day during the war, his finger was chopped off by a machine, and the capo said, put a napkin on it and continue working. Didn't give him more than a 5-minute break. But he joined the Irgun, and he fought the British, the Arabs, the War of Independence. And if you want to look up more, you can see Max with the brain gun, Yad Mordechai, the 6 days of Yad Mordechai. And this finally says, to the day he died, he would recite blood of Gemara by heart to me from his learning 80 years ago. And the son is trying to pick up where he left off with your help, Kalman. Also, the shir is sponsored L'Refuas Rafal ben Rachel, Refuah Shlema for Chaim Velvel ben Shendel of Woodmere, retired police officer. He's a Talmud Chacham, and Refuah Shlema for Rivka Bas Eskter. My cousin, Shmaryo Elchanan, he's a big part. Elchanan Feinstein is a very big part of our daf. He's on our WhatsApp group. He's a big Talmud Chacham. He constantly gives us ha'aris. If you're part of the group, you know who Elchanan Feinstein is. They sent him to the hospital yesterday. They sent him back home, and now Yeshua, I hope he's wrong, says we have to say Tehillim for him. So Shmaryo Elchanan ben Chava Mirel. And a Rav from the 5 towns. Chaim Aryeh Ze'ev ben Edel, that's Rabbi Ginsburg, if you're familiar with him. And of course, Rafal David Yechezkel ben Perel, that's Reb David Oppenheim. And Rachel Esther Bas Edel, a lady just sent me now a message. Her husband constantly listens to the shir. She wanted to know if we could learn in her schos. We have here a picture of David Gersey with his newborn. It's becoming a thing. You got to send in those pictures. What else do we have here? And finally, we have, yesterday I said a pshat in the Gemara. A couple people sent me back that they liked the pshat. And here's from Shmuel Vefer. The Malchamavas Yitzhahara gets to you in a 2-step process. That's what I said during Shir. First, it gets to you by doing something minor which is permitted but takes you away from the more important mitzvah, then it has the opening to go in for the kill. Here's the idea articulated by the Kli Yakar and Bereshis Perek Lamed Beis, and he goes on to explain. Yaakov got up at night and helped his family cross the river. Then he left him alone to go back for the Pachim Tanim. Immediately, the Sarah of Esav came to wrestle Yaakov. Bam, got him. And he gives the whole Kli Yakar here, Ayin Sham. And with that, we have a long daf, a very, very famous daf. The Gemara starts off with the famous story of Shammai and Hillel. Torah Rabbanon, on the bottom daf Lamed Amud Beis, the last line. Lo'ilam ye Adam anveson ki Hillel. A person should be a non-of like Hillel, not be makbid. Vayye kapton ki Shammai, and don't be strict like Shammai. Ma'isa b'shnei bnei Adam shehimru zeh zeh daf Lamed Aleph Amud Aleph. There were two people who made a bet. Says Taisves, if you want to know about betting, you have to look somewhere else in Bava Metzia whether or not the bet works. Kol mi sheyelech v'yaknes Hillel yital arba me'ezuz. Again, arba me'ezuz is always a lot of money. Whatever the amount was, if it's 400 exactly. But whoever could get Hillel to get upset will win the bet. I'm a professional. I'll do it. I want to win the bet. It happened to be Erev Shabbos. And Erev Shabbos is a busy day. Hillel was in the middle of taking a bath. He was shampooing his hair, taking care of his hair. And he went by Hillel's house. Omar, Mikan Hillel. He goes to Trump's house and he says, Donald, are you home? Chutzpah. Who's Hillel? Hillel's the Nasi of Klal Yisrael. Forget about this Galad Dar. He's also the Nasi. Starts screaming him by his first name. Mikan Hillel, Mikan Hillel. So he put on his clothing and came out to see what's going on. B'ni. He called him with ahava, with respect. My son, Mata Mevakesh. How could I help you? Omar lei, sheilo yesh li lishor. I have an unbelievable question to ask you. Omar lei, shal b'ni shal. Go ahead. To Pshatim Rashi, why are the heads of the Bavlim round? Wow! An amazing question. I'm so proud of you. It was mamish, a good thing that I came out of the shower and got dressed. Because the midwives are morons. They don't know how to deliver kids in Bavel. And they mess up every single time, so they make their heads a different shape. Just yesterday we learned that if a ksil comes and asks you a question, you don't answer him. If it's in learning, you answer him. But if it's a shtus and he tells you that your mother had an affair and you're my mamzer kid, you don't answer him. So why is Hillel bothering himself with this guy? So the Maharsha goes into the whole pshat that Hillel really believed that this guy is being serious. He's asking him a very deep question. Look in the Maharsha, every question, every answer. So he answered him. B'derech Harem also. I don't understand the Maharsha that well because the fact is that he called him Hillel. If he asked him a kasha, Bavlim's Galgalo, he's fine. But also he didn't talk b'kavod. I call upon him, like everything else, there are a lot of pshatim. You can look in the Maral and the Ben Yoda. Mipnei she'ein lahem chayus pikchois. Holach v'inten shachas. The guy needs to win his bet, so he waits for a little while. Chazav v'omar Mikan Hillel, Mikan Hillel. Hillel, come out of your shower. Nisad of Yotzil crosses, he came towards him. Omar loy b'ni matam mevakesh. What do you want? Omar lei sheilo yesh li lishoy. Sorry, he didn't say what do you want. He said b'ni matam mevakesh. How can I help you? Sheilo yesh li lishoy. I have a bam kasha. Omar lei shal b'ni shal. Mipeni ma'inem shetarmudim trutois. Why are the eyes of the Talmudim, they're soft or they're round according to another pshat? Two pshatim. I guess we can learn from here Musa Haskell how to treat our own children when they ask dumb questions. Or son-in-laws. Sitting right next to me. My mayor, Talmud Chacham. Chas v'shalom, that never happened. I'm just kidding. It's amazing kasha. Wow. If they had, what's that about Meir? Huh?
How's Meir liking the pressure, getting up every morning to learn with loving the pressure?
Yeah. Listen, he doesn't work on the pressure because look, it's not his first time here. He wasn't here the last time he was here, and he wasn't here the first 2 days he was here. But he said he wants it. He does the daf. He has the chavrusas. He was driving to Yerushalayim from my house every morning. He was driving at 5 o'clock in the morning. He learns with Rabbi Lieber. You guys know Rabbi Lieber? He's a very famous Talmid Chacham. He might work in your seminary, know him. Does he work? He's a Rav in Gimel also, but he's a famous teacher in seminaries. Big Talmid Chacham. So they learn Chavrusa every morning. But now that Rabbi Lieber was in the hospital, I don't think it was Corona related, so he's coming to this year. But anyway, yeah. But thanks for asking, Avi. Shkoyach. So if their eyes were wide, like our eyes sank again to the corners, but because they're round or soft, then the sand doesn't get in there. Another hour he waits. Hillel. Where's Hillel? He got dressed again. I have a question. I'm just thinking about some Gdei Ador that I went to. It wasn't like this. You ask him a question, and they give you they don't even answer. They say, Bua, I don't know what they say. I go, I'm not knocking Rechaim. I'm trying to give a comparison. Look at the Gdei Ador. You think he has time for the shtus? Yet he took his time and was relaxed and answered the shtus. Why was his feet very wide? Because the Africans, they have to step on mud and they need wide feet. Or because they don't wear shoes, their feet grow wide. Fine. Rebbe, I have a lot of questions I need to ask you. I'm scared you might be upset at me. So, again, it seems like it was a different time. He had to get redressed again. Go ahead, ask me all your dumb kashas, your klutz kashas. He sees he's not going to win with Hillel. He says, you're the Nasi. He answered, he said, okay, that's your first question. Amazing question. The answer is yes, I'm a Nasi. If that's you, shouldn't be anybody like you anymore. Over here you see, not like so much like the Marsha. He was engaging him in conversation. Why? Why do you say there shouldn't be any more like me? You caused me to lose 400 zuz in a bet. Says Hillel, you should watch your mood, your attitude. It should be, in other words, because the person had a bet, so not only did he not win the bet, he also had to pay up the bet. So that's arba me'ezuz. This is the marsha. Va'arba me'ezuz. It's 400 plus 400. V'hillel lo yakbid. As long as I keep my cool and my calm, everything's going to be okay. You could lose as much as you want. I need to keep my cool. Torah Rabbana. So now the Gemara continues on with the tremendous Hillel and Shammai. Torah Rabbana ma'aseh b'nochri echad. These are famous stories, Rabbi said. We're all familiar with the stories. Teach me the whole Torah on 1 foot. Here it is, right here. Ma'aseh b'nochri echad. So now the Gemara teaches us 3 stories about 3 goyim that became gerim. And all the way at the end, the 3 gerim meet each other. The first one is Ma'aseh b'nochri echad shebah lefnei Shammai. Omar lo kama Torah yesh lachem. How many Torahs do you have? Omar lo shtayim. Torah shebichtav and Torah shebal peh. Omar lo shebichtav ani mamincha. That one I'll trust you. V'shebal peh eni mamincha. I don't believe that Kosh Baruch Hu gave you the Torah shebal peh. Gaireini, I need you to make me a ger. Al menash telamdeni Torah shebichtav. I'm willing to accept Torah number 1, but not the Torah shebal peh. Gar boy voitzia ben Zifa. So Shammai, who's a captain, He's strict. He took him and he chucked him out. Why? Says Rashi, because as we learned in Bechayros, if a person wants to become a ger but doesn't accept even one mitzvah, it's all over. He can't become a ger. So therefore, he threw him out. He was right for throwing him out. L'chayra. Balafnei Hillel, gairei. So then Hillel made him a convert, made him a ger. But why? If he's not accepting, says Rashi, he didn't say that the Torah Shabbat doesn't exist. He didn't believe that Hakadosh Baruch Hu gave it. He didn't say, I don't believe in one thing. Hillel was sure that once he gets to him and he teaches him Torah, he'll accept it, and that's what happened. He taught him Daled Beis. The following day, he flipped it around. So the first time I learned it, I thought it meant that he lied to him. He said a aleph is a gimel and a beis is a dalid. Who's that ever? No, I thought it's Moshe Chaim. I'm looking for Moshe Chaim Stefansky. If anybody sees him, need him on here. He promised me he'll be here. But Rashi says that he flipped it around. He taught him Tov, Shin, Reish, Kuf. That's how he started the aleph beis. But the Beis Yoda says you can fit my pshat into Rashi as well. In other words, he taught him at bash. Instead of aleph, he said aleph is a Tov. Fine, either way. What's going on, Hillel? Yesterday he taught me aleph beis. How is it today? Tov kuf. If you're going to rely on me, then you have to rely on me for everything and understand that Hakadosh Baruch Hu gave us the Torah, and Hakadosh Baruch Hu gave us the Torah Sheba'al Peh at Har Sinai. It's not the Chacham made it up later on in generations. It came down from Har Sinai, just like the Torah Shebiksav. Shuv Ma'aseh ben Ochri Echad is another guy. I need you to teach me the entire Torah while I'm standing on one leg. The Chafai Ba'amas Habinin Shebiyadai. Shammai was a builder. That's what he did for a living. So he had this 2-foot stick in his hand, Amos Habinyon, and he gave him a zetz. Chucked him out of there. Talking shtusim. You think the whole Torah could be taught in one line? You want a one-liner? Balifnei Hillel Gairei. Hillel said, I'll take care of this. Omalei, Omaloi. This is one of the most important lines of all of the Torah. Da'aloch seni lechavroch loisavid. That which you hate, to your friend you shouldn't do. Let's see Rashi inside. Smack in the middle of the page. Da'aloch seni lechavroch loisavid. Re'acho v're'a avicho al ta'azoiv z'HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Rashi's bothered. What does this have to do with the mitzvahs in the Torah? Hakadosh Baruch Hu tells us to do a mitzvah to keep Shabbos. What does it have to do with your friend? It says Rashi, Re'acha v're'a avicha. This is HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Al taver is al dvarav. Shari alecha sonu shiyav v'chaverecha al dvarecha. If you tell your friend to do something and he doesn't listen to you, that will upset you. And therefore, you have to listen to your friend HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's pshat number 1. Lishna achrino chavercha mamish. I can learn this from literally treating your friend with respect. Treating your friend what you hate, don't do to your friend. You're going zela. You don't want somebody to steal from you, so don't steal from your friend. Geneva, niof. So even arayis, says Rashi, you can learn from here. You don't want somebody to steal your wife, so don't steal his wife. So all these things, it's common sense. You can learn from this one line. Da'aloch seni lechavroch litavet. Go work it out with all the other mitzvahs. I don't know exactly how it works with Shabbos, but I guess everything fits in it. Zui kol haTorah kula. Says Hillel, if you want to know the big yesod in the Torah, this is the yesod. V'idach pirushahu, and the rest of the Torah is to come to explain these 5 words. Da'aloch seni lechavroch leitaved zil gemar. They point out it's not zukla godav Torah v'ha'afta l'reacha kamoicha. It's not a positive; it's a negative. Don't do to your friend. Not do to your friend like you would like to yourself. Don't do to your friend. Shuv ma'aseh ben ochri echad. And here's the final ger. He happened to be passing by the Beis Medrash. I forgot to take that sefer out. Let's see if I can find it real quickly. Here, let's see if we can find it here. Oh. So he heard about this. He heard them talking about these colorful clothing. Kohen Gadol, with the tzitz and the mitznefes, the avneit, all the beautiful things. He heard the Rebbe describing it to his Talmidim. It's a good Rebbe. He made him understand what it was. So he started asking around, who gets to wear these beautiful clothing? It's a Kohen Gadol. So the guy tells himself, this guy's a character. I'm going to become a ger, so I can become a Kohen Gadol, so I can wear these beautiful clothing. It's a crazy reason to become a ger, and who says you're going to become the president of the United States? Fine. I have a beautiful idea here.
Eli,
Yes.
just gonna. Ari Mozenka said a beautiful shot on the chat. The two pshatim in Rashi complement. First one being Ben Adam Lamakom, and the second one Ben Adam Lechavera.
Yeah, very good. If you didn't hear, what he's saying is that the two pshatim complement each other. Rashi is saying that one is Ben Adam Lamakom and one is Ben Adam Lechavera. The Chavei B'amas Habinyan should be all day. So what are you, Meshuggah? Get out of here. Took the stick and pushed him out. Balafnei Hillel. But when he came to Hillel, who was an Anav, he was known for his Midas Anova, Gairei. He made him a Ger, Omalei, Klum Amid Melech Elamisha Yudeh Tachsisi Machos. So again, the same trick. First I'll make him a Ger, and I'll get him into it, I'll get him involved. And he told him, listen, I understand you want to become a Kohen Gadol, it's a great idea, but I can't make you a Kohen Gadol before you know the halachas. Go learn up a little bit, come back to me, then we'll talk. So he went and he started reading. If a Yisrael tries to perform the Avodah, he dies. Who is it referring to? Even on David HaMelech. Who could comprehend who David HaMelech is? If he tries to be mark of a carb in the Beis HaMikdash, he dies. So he finally realized that it's not going to work out for him. Yisrael calls Klal Yisrael B'ni, my son. And Yisrael cannot perform the avodah. A ger who comes with a stick and with his bag, certainly he can't be a Kohen Gadol. So he returns to Shammai. Why didn't you tell me? Why did you hit me with your stick? Why didn't you just say something?
He has less of a status than Israel.
He took this Kal V'chomer. He made his own Kal V'chomer in his head. It's not a question of Kal, but look, yes, we learned, for instance, that a person who works as a weaver cannot be a Kohen Gadol. It's a certain, you have to have yichus. You just said, look, even David HaMelech, yichus. The Goyin says you have to have schus avos. But it doesn't mean that it's necessarily true again. It's his own kavachomer. It's a ger's kavachomer. This comes from a guy that thought that he could become a Kohen Gadol. So I don't know how good his kavachomers are. Balafnei Hillel. So anyways, he was upset at Shammai. Why couldn't you just spit out the pasuk to me and it would be all over? Tell me, Vazar Korv Yumas. Then he went to Hillel and he said, I really appreciate that you didn't tell me the truth and you treated me with patience. Omarle, Anveson Hillel, Yenuchalacha Brochas Aroishcha. You should have all the blessings. Shikraftani, Tachas Kanfei Ashchina. You brought me closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. Meir's asking, you have to teach, you have to tell the ger every mitzvah, you have to teach him everything. How come you didn't know this beforehand? Okay. L'yavin is that maybe he realized that this would throw him off and he wanted to bring him back. There's a mitzvah to make gerim, I guess. L'yavin is that these three gerim went to ger school together and they bumped into each other. Amru, they realized, all three of them realized together that Shammai tried to distance them from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And on the flip side, because of Hillel, we were zoicha to become Yidden and worship HaKadosh Baruch Hu be'emes. Omar Rish Lakish, Mai Dichsiv. So we have a pasuk here. Some people say this on Motzei Shabbos. Voya emunas itecha choisen Yeshua's chochmos v'das. So the Gemara is now going to say this refers to the Shisha Sidrei Mishnah. Each word is a seder. Yeshua is nezikim, chochmos, etc. Voya emunas itecha choisen. The literal translation in the Art Scroll, the stability of your time and the strength of salvation is wisdom and knowledge. Fine. Now that you know the translation. By the way, we have the schus of having, I don't remember, tell me how many kids we had at the Siyum that we gave watches out. We have like 15 kids, I think, total with the morning and the evening shiurim, right? Noam, you were in charge of that. Something like that. 15 children. We have Nachman Seltz's children. We have Akiva. Hi, Akiva's always on right now. What?
Over 50 watches went though.
I didn't tell you to bring home 7 of them for your 8 boys, and one of them is already married. No, that was wrong. But anyway, listen, I saw adults with white beards running out with those watches. What should I tell you? It's Israel. That's how it goes. Baruch Hashem, and we have Dr. Factor's 8-year-old, and we unbelievable kids. But one of the kids we have is Zalman Tzvi. Zalman Tzvi is Yosef Biliak's son, and Yosef tells me that his 10-year-old son Zalman Tzvi, who comes to the shir almost every day, and he watches every day, is going to make a siyum on Shisha Sidrei Mishnah at 10 years old. I think that's incredible. That's crazy. You know, you hear about these bar mitzvah boys and they struggle in the last minute, they get to the Shisha Sidrei and the last few sdarim is a shtickle shvach. He's 10 years old, he's making a siyum on Shisha Sidrei Mishnah. Incredible. So it's a schus that we have such kids in the shir. Emunas, they say there's Zraim. What does Emunah have to do with Zraim? Because we have to trust people that they take Trumas and Maisris. Or, Tosfos says, we have to trust HaKadosh Baruch Hu when we put a seed into the ground, when we plant. We're taking a seed, and we believe that if we put it into the ground in dirt, something's going to pop up in a few months. That's Emunah. So that fits into the word Emunah, and that has to do with Zra'im, with seeds, with planting. Itecha, time. Zeh Seder Mayed. Yeah, every Nisan, Tesov Nisan is Pesach. You have Purim, you have Shavuos, Sukkot, it's times. Chosen, which the Art Scroll translates as strength, Zeh Seder Nashim. Another word for Chosen, another explanation is Yerusha. How do you have children that are Yerish you? Through women. And the whole Nashim is about Ksuvas, about Kiddushin, Gittin. Yeshua is Zeh Seder Nezikin. To the salvation, you'll be saved if you know Nezikin, if you know not to damage somebody, if you know not to walk in the street with your camel that might catch on fire, etc., etc. You know these things. And Memela, Shmuel Eliwat, Yishkoyach for yesterday's sponsorship. What's going on in your background? How's it moving all the time? It's an interesting background. Okay, fine. He has the kaisel. I didn't know backgrounds can move. I'm learning new things about Zoom every day. Another thing I learned is that in New York they don't allow Zoom anymore. It's illegal to use Zoom for the public schools, etc. And they have good reason. But meanwhile, we're like advertising our our passwords and everything online. Great. The camel doesn't catch fire, it lights a pile of flags. Okay, shkoyach. Yeah, that's what I meant. By the way, this I forgot to mention. Yirmiyahu Mack from Passaic, who watches our shir, so on Motzei Shabbos I read his email and he asked if I'm related to Stefansky. So I didn't answer him because he wasn't watching, but he wants to know why I didn't answer him. It's because he didn't watch a few shirim beforehand where I gave a whole speech how all Stefanskys are related. So Yirmiyahu, you have to watch all the shiurim. From now on, Be'ezer Hashem, you're going to watch, and I'm going to tell you. If you go to the app, there's an unbelievable feature. It's called patting oneself on the back. It's called Eli Stefansky Classics, something like that. And you look there, I didn't open this one up, but Leon Welcher from South Africa puts on the Stefansky Classics. And one of them is how all Stefanskys are related. So if you wanted to see what I said in that shir, all Stefanskys are related. And then Daddy Kornbluth sent me a thing that there's a Choshev Stefansky from Switzerland who saved his mishpacha and saved this. Kitzer, my grandfather was one of 10 boy Stefanskys. And from all those 10 Stefanskys came out all the other ones. So Eliezer Stefansky, the famous Maggid Shir in Philadelphia Yeshiva, was my father's first cousin. All these Stefanskys are basically my father's first cousins. It makes me and Jonathan like second, third cousins, v'chulu, but they're all related like that. Those 10 boys had, I don't know, now it's in the thousands, you can't keep up anymore. And my mechutanim we share 2 great aunts and great uncles. But Kitzer, I just got an email from somebody who's a child of one of those uncles. Just now, just right before shir, I got another. Unbelievable. Rabbi said, keep up the emails. I got a ton of emails today, like 15. But keep it up. I need pictures. We need geshmak emails, things we can read and inspire the olam. Because of this corona, we need something that will be uplifting. So don't send me about the people that are being nifter and geshmak stuff, how you're inspired by this year, etc. Chachmas ze seder kachim. Yeshua is a seder nezikin. We said how it saves you from hezek. Chachmas ze seder kachim. Chachma kachim. You have to have chachma. V'das is a seder taharas. It's a step more than chachma. It's das. You have to have a lot of seichel to understand a thing within a thing. V'afilu hachi. What's the continuation of the pasuk? Yiras Hashem hi oitzarai. Says Rashi, unbelievable. I think we should jump into Rashi for this one. Hi oitzarai, like 13 lines from the bottom. Hi oitzarai, hu ikir hechoshuv be'enov le'etzar ve'la'asei zgula zikaron. Says Rashi, if you want to remember learning, here's the zgula of all zgulas. Rabbi Pessin put out a sefer, how to remember learning, 100 zgulas. Here, the Gemara tells us what it is. It's the pasuk. Yiras Hashem, hi oitzarai. If you have Yiras Shamayim, you'll remember your learning. That's the derech, says Rashi, of remembering learning. Omar Rava. Here's the famous Rava. In fact, Rava, I didn't realize it until I learned the sugya. Last night at the funeral on Zoom, Rabbi Eichenstein said over this Gemara. He said in Eretz Yisrael, it's today's daf. And he went through to explain how Nachum Lengsner is every one of these 6 things. But what people fail to realize that it comes from the pasuk that we just mentioned. See this pasuk? Every one of Rava's things is associated with the word. So before we said Zroim Moed Nashim Nezikim Kachim Taharis is all part of the words. And he's saying Emunas is Nasasav and Nasata Be'emunah Itecha is Kavatim L'Torah. Each one of his things has to do with this pasuk. Let's see inside. As soon as a person is nifter, they show him the video of his whole life. He sees every single thing, and then they ask him, what's the first thing that they ask a person? Not if he went to the mikvah, or if he davened, if he learned. In business, did you deal in business with integrity? Were you yashar? Nosasav and nosata be'emunah, I think, Rabbi Isai, we don't have to go into it, but we have a certain name, Yidden. We're good, shrewd businessmen, and sometimes we're a little bit too shrewd. And we have to be careful with this particular thing. Nososov and nosate be'emuna. We shouldn't make a chil Hashem in business. We should deal with yashrus. It's the number one thing that they ask a person. And then they ask him, kovato itim la Torah. So what's the first thing? Emunas. Emunas means nosato v'nosato be'emuna. It's the word emunas. And then itecha, your time, kovato itim la Torah. Did you set aside time for Torah? And Rabbi say, we, Daf Yomi people, we set aside time and we start off our day. Many of us even before we daven. Kovati itim la Torah. So look what Rashi says here. Kovati itim la Torah lefisha adam tzarich l'sasik b'derech eretz. Says Rashi, yes, I understand that a person has to work for a living. She'im ein derech eretz ein Torah. You need to work, otherwise you don't have Torah. I need you to set aside time, otherwise you'll work all day. You'll forget about learning. But if you have a certain kavua time, and what better way than Daf Yomi Rabbi say? Set aside a time, this is it, every single day. Erev Pesach, in quarantine, we learn Torah. Itim, okay, 2 times, morning and night, says Meir. The Mechaber says, Dik in the pasuk, but over here it says itecha. Fine, but Rava says itim kovat itim la Torah. And then the next thing is sakta b'pruvu. The pasuk pshat is, did you have children? The Maharsha says, were you oisik in shiduchim? Did you help other people get married? Did you help other people that don't have children to go to Bnei Olam, donate money for pruvu? It's a piece of Yeshua. It's a piece of Yeshua is not only a Lubavitcher thing. It's waiting for Mashiach. Did you learn b'chachma? Hivanta davar mitach davar, and that all fits into the pasuk Yeshuais. In other words, we mitzap it to Yeshua. Chachmas is pilpalta and chachma. Vodas, did you understand Torah? V'afilo achi. At the end of the day, Yiras Hashem Yitzaroi. In if you had Yiras Shamayim, great. Iloi loi. The main thing is to have Yiras Shamayim. Moshe Adam Shomer l'shluchoi. Haleli kur chitim laliyah. Bring this amount of wheat up to my attic. And he brought it up there. Did you put the preservative in there? The dirt that has salt? No, I forgot. It would have been better if you didn't learn Torah. If you don't have Yiras Shamayim, you don't have the main ingredient, what good is it? It's all going to be spoiled. It's worthless. Now, because of that, because Chumtan is so important to your Tfuah, I can add it without telling you. So when I sell you by weight, part of the wheat has dirt, because that dirt is an essential part of my wheat, otherwise it'll go to waste. They told the guy, here are the keys to everything. But they forgot to give him the outer keys. So if you medayik here, it's just my own diuk, that the main thing to get in, to step in, is Yiras Shamayim. Once you have Yiras Shamayim, then you can go weiter. It's not that they gave him the outer keys and forgot to give him the inner keys. The first keys, the first step is Yiras Shamayim. How is he gonna get in there if he doesn't have the keys? The first keys to get into the building. How are you going to get into your apartment if you don't have the keys to get into your building? If you don't understand, I blew this up. Here's a guy that created a door to nowhere. It's the middle of his field. What good is it if you have Torah and you don't have walls all around? You have to have your Shamayim. Then you could build everything else. Then you could build a door. He doesn't even have a backyard. And he makes a door. Has a doorway to nowhere. Created the world that people should fear him. That's what he did. That people should fear him. Says the Gemara, there's a story. I forgot to look who this was. Rebbe Rebbe Lazar Reb Shimon. Oh, it's Rebbe Lazar Reb Shimon. They noticed Rabbi Yaakov bar Acha passing by. We don't know who said what. We got to stand up for Rabbi Yaakov. He fears sin. He has Yerushalayim. What are you talking about? He's a big Talmid Chacham. I'm telling you there's Yerushalayim. You tell me he's a Talmid Chacham? First comes Yerushalayim. To stand there, Rabbi Lazar prove that it's Rabbi Lazar Dom Dikvar Dochel Chetenu. Rabbi Lazar, Rabbi Shimon was very into Yerushalayim. Dom Rabbi Yochanan, Mishum Rabbi Lazar, Rabbi Yochanan said in the name of Rabbi Lazar. HaKadosh Baruch Hu Yerushalayim Belvad. HaKadosh Baruch Hu cares about Yerushalayim. Shenemar. V'ata Yisrael Ma Hashem Elokecha Shoyel Meimach. What does Hashem want from you? Kim Liyira Isai. The main thing is Yerushalayim. Uchsiv Vayomer LaAdam Hein Yiras Hashem Hi Chachma. Shekaim Beloshen Yevani Koyin LaAchas Hein Testayim. The Gemara uses this lashon a number of times in Shas. That in Greek, the word Hein means one. In other words, there's only one thing. Yerushalayim. Why Greek? Because even if you write a Sefer Torah in Greek, it's kosher according to a lot of times. Ki shel Yavan, something about Greek that the Gemara always says that you can bring a raya from Greek. Darish Ravula. Back to we had questions the other day on Kehelas and Mishlei. So here's a good question on Kehelas. Don't be such a big Rasha. By the way, Rabbi Schoenberg, I did get your email about Aleph Beis. Just didn't have time to talk about it. Look, it's already 8 o'clock and we're far from being over. Al tirsha harbe. Harbe hu deloi lirsha. Homad lirsha. What a person could be a small Rasha. What does it mean? Don't be a big Rasha. Elo ishach al shum v'reicha noidev yachshav shum. We had it in brachas. Remember, if a person eats food and he doesn't make a bracha, what, he should continue eating without making a bracha? So over here also, a person who has a terrible smell in his mouth from eating garlic, he should continue eating garlic. It's a tremendous aside. I just literally last week I was telling this to a teenager. He's telling me about texting on Shabbos, and I said, if a person texts on Shabbos, so that means he should be a shegitz and just do everything. He should do avodah zarah. He should be mchal Shabbos with everything else. He should not eat kosher. So you fell. A person falls, and a person does one aveira. That means he should do all the aveiras. When we were younger, they said, this guy went to the movie theater, so that's it. He was a shegitz. He could take off his yarmulke and finish. You do what? An aveira, going to the movie theater. And today also. So guy was nichshal in texting. Doesn't mean he should drop the whole Torah. That's exactly what this pasuk says. Al tirsha harbe. Just because you do one aveira doesn't mean you should continue doing a lot of aveiras. You could keep the rest of the Torah. And you do tshuva on that little aveira. Dosh Rava Baravula, Maidichsiv. There's no ties to their death, and they're healthy like a giant hall. So now the Gemara plays. Rashi says it's a play on words. Chartzuvos is 2 words. Charedin va'atzevin. Not only are these Rishayim not fearful of death, they don't care about Olam Hamas. They have no fear, they're strong, they keep on going as if nothing happened. This is their way. What does Kesel mean? Rishayim know that they're going to die, and they're going to give a din v'cheshbon. They have this fat on the kidneys, like when we did the shchita on chulin, we saw it has a nice layer of fat over the kidney. Maybe they forgot, they don't care, they don't pay attention to death. No, they talk about death, but they're easy about it. They don't care. Now we go back to a little sugya. Don't worry, we're going back to the Gadat. If a person extinguishes a flame, according to Rav Yehuda, it's a malacha shein tzricha legufa. He doesn't care about it, he doesn't need it, but he doesn't want it. For other reasons, he's chayiv. Rabbi Yossi keman tzvirle, but when Rabbi Yossi says he's chayiv for extinguishing a wick, and only the wick, that's the only time he's chayiv, how does he hold? If he holds like Rabbi Yehuda that says melacha she'ein tzrich legufa, I don't need the actual melacha, I don't want the melacha, all I care is I have a problem and this is going to solve my problem, but I don't need this melacha. I'd rather not have the problem to begin with. I'd rather not have a flame here that's consuming my oil. I need the oil. I need my lamp. Afilu banach nami chayav. So he should be chayav according to Rabbi Yossi on everything. If he wants to extinguish the flame because he wants to save the oil, he wants to save the lamp, he should be chayav. Vikir b'shem tzivile, and if he holds melacha shein tzrich leguf is 100% mutter, or it's pater aval asur, psila nami liftar. So then what's the problem? Why is he chayav on a wick? Why is a wick different? Amar ula loylam ke Rabbi Yehuda Sri because Savar Rabbi Yossi soiser almanas livnos bim koyme have a soiser. So here, this is what's going on here. He holds like Rabbi Yehuda, that Rabbi Yehuda holds that melacha shein tzricha legufa chayiv. Now, in all of the Torah, if I destroy something, I am potter. Shouldn't do it, but I'm potter. I'm not creating something, I'm destroying. But if I create something to build, in order to build, I knock down a house in order to build a nicer house, then I'm chayiv. Says Rabbi Yossi, one more step. That has to be on condition that I'm building in this exact spot. But if I knock down my house in order to build a house down the block, then I'm not chayiv. What does this have to do with a wick? A wick is its place. In other words, wherever I light the wick, that's where the place is. I can move the wick to another country, the place remained the same. The wick is its place. So Mamela, if I extinguish a flame in order to relight it, that's soiser almanas livnois, I'm destroying in order to create, and it's in the same exact place. Why? Because it's the same wick, then I'm chayev. But if I extinguish the flame in order to save my lamp, and then I put another wick in there, the wick changed. My lamp might be in the same exact spot, but my wick is what decides where the spot is. So the spot changed, and Memela I'm potter according to Rabbi Yossi. I'm only chayiv on the wick. I'm not chayiv on the lamp or on the oil. If I destroy something in order to create bim koimai in its place, have a soiser amanas soiser. Amanas livnoi shalei bim koimai. But if I destroy in order to build in a different place, lo have his soiser. So therefore, by a wick he's chayiv, and by a lamp he's potter. Omalei Rabba michti kol malachas yalfinu lumim mishkan. All the malachas I learned out from the Mishkan, Vasim soiser amanas livnoi shalei bim koimai. Hagush Baruch does Klal Yisrael destroy the Mishkan, take it apart into pieces, in order to rebuild it down the block. That's shalei bim koimai. So where did you get this, Rabbi Yossi? HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the one that said to do it. That's considered its place. It's a different Shatamir. There's a famous Reb Chaim Shmulevitz who says that when a mother carries her baby, her infant, through Ramat Bet Shemesh, she goes from this store to that store to that. So you ask her, where were you? She says, I was in this grocery store, then I was here, I was there. If you ask the baby says, I was in my mother's hands. So when you're with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, everything is the same. You're there, it doesn't matter. There's no another makam. You trust in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He tells you to build, he tells you to put it back. Others explain, he might tell you to build it right here again. It's HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It's not a regular person destroying in order to build down the block. Rabbi Yossi holds like Rabbi Shimon that malacha shein tzrich legufa, it's mutter. So why over here is it also Ma'ishna Psilo Kedomer Rav Amnuna? Kviteimer Rav Hada Rava. Here's the pshat. Hacha Psilo should tzarich lahavava. Askinon. He wanted to singe it. He's trying to light the candle so that his wife could have a better time, easier time, lighting it on Matzah Shabbos. So he actually needs to light it and needs to extinguish it. That's part of it. His creative action is by extinguishing it. Typically, when you extinguish, there's no creativity. You're not doing anything positive. It's a negative. Over here, it's a positive because I want it singed. The Bahida Afilu Reb Shimon Moidi, Reb Shimon will hold the Komisakim Mana. I'm fixing this vessel. In the Mishnah it says it makes a charcoal. He's creating a charcoal. He's creating a singe. Not that the singe happened by itself. Shma mina. It's a raya that we're only talking about a psila. Shma mina. And now we'll say a little tehillim for all these people that are